I got a question. Do you guys like warehouses? Because you're going to be in one for a while.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
there's going to be, I was trying to figure out like how many scenes did they actually create sets for? So they have a main street and they have this like box city. So
Mhm.
Yep.
this is an Eternia.
Don't forget music store.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Charlie's got to go to Charlie's music store. So let's get there.
No more crapping around.
Hit it.
By the power of Grayskull.
Welcome to Sword Boys Cut by Cuts. I am Rick, one of your hosts.
I'm Robin, another one.
Hey, look at me. I'm behind a box in a warehouse. It's Jonathan. How you doing, everybody?
That's right.
Watch
Because
Watch out for my claws.
That's right, because we are watching Cut 3 of Masters of the Universe. Its time codes are 35 minutes, 1 second to 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 8 seconds. Begins with He-Man using his sword for once and ends with Evelyn leaving Julie's house after interrogating Kevin.
Uh-huh. This is our first like real fight scene since the first cut. We got a
Wait a second.
real fight scene.
This cut
what's going
doesn't go all the way to 1 hour, 10 minutes. It goes to 53 minutes, 18 seconds. What
Oh
am
my
I
God.
talking about?
Just start over
Oh my
again.
God.
I have a completely different time code than you.
Oh, good Lord.
I had like 35:29 to 53:04, but I got that from your original notes, so maybe you changed it.
I mean, who knows what's happening anymore other than the fact that there is a good old-fashioned warehouse fight happening.
Yeah. Hey, is this the first time He-Man uses his sword without deflecting lasers?
I think so.
Is
Yeah.
it maybe the last time he uses his sword? I don't know. Maybe he uses it in the end.
I think doesn't he fight Skeletor at some point with a
Oh,
sword?
yeah,
I hope so.
He is
This
going to use
movie's-
his sword to fight Skeletor, for sure.
Thank God.
But
This movie should be called Blasters of the Universe.
yeah.
So let's go over the fight. They're broken up right. They're split up right now. Courtney Cox and Tom Paris are in two different places right now. Courtney Cox is with He-Man, and he has saved her, and he's somehow, for some reason, he's overly coddling her, and then he goes to fight the minions that have come, which is Blade, Beastman,
Yeah. Sauron.
Thorod and Karg. Man,
They're
Sorod
all
and
famous.
Beastmaster, they really... No, not Beastmaster.
Who's
Sorod
Beastmaster?
and Beastman
Mhm.
really embarrass themselves in this fight
Well, I gotta
because
really get
they
confused for a
are
second there.
effectively useless.
Well, Beastman comes in while everyone else he brings his big beast hands to a gunfight. So it's just like a Beastman to bring your hands to a laser fight. He comes in and there's a lot to go over. Let's go over. I think the first thing is there needs to be a sword fight breakdown, because there is the first 30 seconds an actual sword fight in this movie.
It's a sword fight breakdown.
There we go. Now that we've got the content claim out of the way. Yes, He-Man steps out from behind his box, slashes at one of the robots, and we have to put a pause on the sword fight at this point because he immediately picks up the robot's gun and then decides to shoot everybody. We get a little bit more sword action once Beastman goes in for the hug, because apparently, we're in the middle of a sword fight and Beastman's like, Beastman doesn't want to fight, Beastman wants to love.
Beastman only pawn in Game of Eternia.
But it does
That's,
give He-Man the opportunity to use the pommel of his sword to just jab him in the ribs.
Oh, good for him for using his sword again.
Jab him in the beast ribs.
And this cut has two things I'd like to talk about. Well, actually, it's not this one. It's the next cut that has it, but I want to bring it up here.
Okay.
I want to bring it up here is that they don't know how to hold guns. I know we're not gun boys, but they all hold guns kind of like in a weird way. They don't hold.
You brace the gun against the upper part of your arm, and then you kind of like just fire it from the hip.
And he's
Like,
barely doing that. He's barely bracing it in his arm. He's kind of just holding it like a pistol, but it's a laser hit. We'll deal with He-Man later. Tila also has a problem later on.
Tila, wow,
another cut.
Yeah.
Oh, Tila's got so many problems going on. We need to talk about Tila.
But yeah, let's so this sword fight.
That's right, because Blade comes up and he says what we've all been thinking this entire time. I've been waiting a long time for this, and I'm like, yeah, it should have happened back in the first cut.
No, it's like you and me both. That's right, Blade. Bring the sword action already.
We said this 7 times in the Hawk the Slayer. I've been waiting a long time for this.
Let me go take a nap on this picnic table.
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm pretty sure when we originally saw Blade, we mentioned that he was the fight choreographer for this battle, and then also the one that happens at the end with Skeletor. So I think that's where we get a lot of the flashy flourishing from Blade.
Yes. He does the move where you take 2 swords and you swing them around.
Yeah. Listen, he's just the happiest guy because it's the old Simpsons joke. He's got 2 knives and he's got to tell you it's pretty terrific.
So he's got these 2 swords, and immediately He-Man takes one of them away from him.
And he lets out that mournful, my sword.
My sword.
I once had that happen. To tell you when a badass sounds stupid, on my street there was a guy who had a motorcycle, and he wasn't a big guy. He was like a little guy. I felt like it was a midlife crisis. And he used to park it on the street. And one time, Rick, you know, this used to be a bike boy. His motorcycle fell over because either wind or something happened. His motorcycle fell over, and he literally was standing beside it going, hey, can someone help me with my bike? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You can't own something you can't pick up.
Oh my
God. He couldn't lift it was a huge motorcycle. It was huge. And he was like, hey, can someone help me with my bike? It was the daintiest, and that's the same thing with this. Hey, my sword.
Oh my gosh. Sword. Some people just don't know the proper techniques when it comes to lifting motorcycles or holding onto your sword in combat.
Well, this is that kind of douchebag that says he knows karate and then comes in, doesn't really know karate.
And he has to say like karate.
Yeah. Right. He's one of these. He's stolen valor. I actually think Blade took these swords off someone who was a better swordsman who had died, and he found them. And he's like, I'm going to be Blade. This is my identity now. I'm even going to change my name to Blade. My name's Blaine, and he changed it. Blaine changed his name.
Blaine. That's great.
Also, Blaine's not going to be a good fighter because he's only got one eye, right? That's not a robotic eye. That is a space eye patch, right?
Yeah, that can't be any sort of help. I mean, even if it did have some sort of like cybernetic augmentation where like you have some sort of Terminator or Predator vision that is supposed to help you in a fight, like Dolph Lundgren is a mountain of a man, and he just like goes over to Blade and takes that sword as if he was taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, he's like,
just plucks it right out of his hands.
This cut has a lot of, thank God Rick had closed caption subtitles on this, because Dolph Lundgren has a lot to say, and it is all because at first I watched it. I try and watch it without subtitles because I don't want it to cloud me. And I'm watching it. I'm like, what the hell did he just say? God damn it! I know he's speaking English. It's so bad. He's like telling her, he's like later on, he's like I know you've been through a lot. He's like, what? Did you say I know you've been through a lot? What?
His hair just started to annoy me too. I was thinking this must be a wig, right? This got to be okay.
I don't know. That's Dolph Lundgren. I mean, this is Dolph. My wigdar is not going off. Let's go put it that way.
It doesn't seem to move naturally, or he's using a lot of hairspray because it's very aqua netted.
Another line that Dolph Lundgren spews out is, "They must have a doorway," which is, they must have a doorway to Eternia.
And I mean, he's right. They do, but
luckily, so he fights Blade, basically takes care of Blade very easily, and then Cat Fingers the lizard man,
Sorod.
I'm not calling him that because that's bullshit. He's not a real person.
He's not going to be around much longer.
So Sorod is tries to like cut him with his little witch's nails, which comes to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Beastman picks up a gun. Beastman, you could have done this before instead of hugging He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Beastman, love He-Man. We have same last name. I am my dad was a beast. My mom was a man. Whereas He-Man's dad was a he and his mom was a man.
Are you my brother?
Are you my half brother? Are you my brother?
It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I'm slipping into Sly,
It
unfortunately.
is, ironically.
It's so easy to slide into that impression. Slide.
Sly.
Anyway, yeah, Sorod completely embarrasses himself. It gets turned into a weapon against Blade. Karg tries to use his nasty
had the high
hook
ground,
on
too.
Julie.
Mhm.
Like,
He's a foot above him.
like He-Man does something that we would never recommend. He throws his sword, something that is against the rules. If you remember our bonus episode about Rob Roy, he throws his sword at Karg, scaring him away. And then Tila and Man-at-Arms finally show up. And now that the mercenaries are still outnumbering their foes 4-3, now it's time for them to run away.
Yeah. Well, Man-at-Arms is 3 people. Because he's shooting at least, I feel like he's shooting 3 guns.
In that visor. Yeah.
That visor definitely has some sort of RoboCop readout that helps him fight. That's got to be the case.
Oh, you think he's seeing like stats on each person? He's like Beastman, brother of He-Man.
Yeah.
50% rate, 50% win rate.
Aim here,
Pisces.
aim there. This is where he's hiding. He's got the thermal vision pop up. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Shall we go to Charlie's?
I like to go to Charlie. Well, the bad guys run away. The bad guys run away down this hallway. Tila's there.
They suck.
They suck.
They really do. They run all the way back to Eternia. I mean, Skeletor is very justified in what comes up.
How come they
So-
can go back to Eternia 3 times, but our heroes can't find a way to fucking follow them through the butthole? What is going on?
It's because they have, what did he call it? A doorway.
Well,
You know, He-Man
Well, why can't
and
they
the
go through
others, they've got
They-
they had their cosmic key, but then they lost it. If He-Man and the
you don't
others
need the
had
cosmic key. You don't need the cosmic key to go through someone else's doorway.
yeah,
all you need to get is permission before you go through. Hey, always ask for consent before going through anyone's cosmic doorway. Okay.
the reason that He-Man and the others can't use Karg's doorway is because Tila and Man-at-Arms are bad trackers.
They are.
You know what they need? They need Tracker on CBS.
Ooh.
Which is a show
CBS, give us Tracker money.
starring that
Tracker.
handsome guy from This Is Us.
Come on. That's the Green
As
Arrow right there.
the
The
tracker.
original.
I know. So they go to Charlie's. Did you all have this kind of place where in your hometown, like a hometown music guy? I think to most people, a guitar center is probably the best term for what this is. But we had one where we were from. I think it was called Pick and Grin. Pick and Grin. It sounds like real country, but it was where you bought guitars, synthesizers, drum kits. This is where like they also did lessons upstairs. Like you could take lessons. Like they had like for people that don't want to learn from an old man in a room, like because you could go to see a music teacher that would teach you piano lessons. Some old lady in her house and you're playing her piano. But there you're playing synthesizers and you're playing rock music and you're learning. It's like School of Rock before School of Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Did you guys have those?
Yeah, I had a place like that. I mean, I still do. There's definitely a mom and pop business here that's been around for a while. It's called Fallers. There's nothing as cool as Pick and Grin, but
I wish I could remember what the secondhand music store in my town was called, but I think it got shut down and then taken over by David's Bridal.
Okay.
So, I mean, RSVP to those guys. That was a good, like, just one of those dusty shops where it's just very much like Charlie's, crammed floor to ceiling with stuff.
He knows where everything is, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
He
This
doesn't
guy-
need to do inventory. He just knows.
Charlie is out of Central casting for 1980s synthesizer guy.
Actually, he is a child star.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Livingston was the youngest son on My Three Sons, which ran from 1960 to 1972, 380 episodes. He played the adopted son, even though his real older brother was the older brother in the family. So there was, but yeah, the older son. His character's name on the show, Barry Livingston, was Ernie. So he's just Ernie again. And it says in IMDb, his nickname is Ernie. So even though his name is Barry.
So he works at Charlie's, but his name's Ernie?
Yeah. Wait. Oh, wait. No, I'm getting this confused. Charlie, Ernie, what's the difference?
Is he Charlie?
He's playing Charlie. He is Barry. And
oh my God, stop.
Ernie.
Stop. Okay.
And his nickname is Ernie.
So they've got the cosmic key, and he's trying to figure out it. I don't really know why he's here because he wants to leave so quickly. Tom Paris is like, "Do you know what this is?" No. Well, I've got to go. Do you want to sell it? No, I really got to go.
Wait. No. When he asked Charlie, "Do you know what this is?" Charlie's like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what it is. This is Japanese." He's the most confident wrong person.
We're about to
in
play
this movie.
Yeah, in the second, I can't remember if it's now or in the next cut. We're gonna meet a more confident person who says things are either communist or cult. We'll meet that gentleman later. But this is the beginning of a bunch of experts.
Oh yeah,
that don't know anything.
Yeah, he really plays the disinterested pawn star. The best I can do is maybe like
I gotta make
$50 for this.
I gotta make a profit on this, guys. You know how this works. So we go back to some exposition with Courtney Cox. She is telling He-Man that she found the cosmic key in the graveyard, and he's like, "What's a graveyard?" And it's like it's a whole thing. They go into like 20 minutes of talking about what a grave. And then she brings up her dead parents, which was not part of it. And he's like, "Oh my God, sorry I asked." And it's this whole thing.
Yeah, I wrote down this scene could have been totally cut out. Like this is just repeating nonsense.
Robin,
right? This is
they don't have anything for this movie. They had to have every piece they had.
Listen, they know that all of the kids are either going to be okay. So either the kids got distracted by all the fighting nonsense, and so they didn't pick up on the exposition, so it needs to be repeated for them, or this is the opportunity for the kids to go to the bathroom because they've had a large soda in the last half hour and they are going to piss themselves unless they go to the bathroom. So they got to put in this little scene so that the kids can get taken to the bathroom and take too long to wash their hands and all that other stuff.
Again.
Yeah. This is your piss moment right here.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a new segment? The piss moment?
Yep.
Ooh. This is moment of Masters Universe.
Yeah, this is where you go to the bathroom when He-Man is
really
telling the plot of the movie that you've been watching for the last half hour.
Okay.
Like they saw this like 10 minutes ago, but He-Man, you don't know this information.
Right.
So meanwhile, back at the school, school's on fire.
Like
all of Tom Paris's stuff is melted and ruined, all of his synthesizers.
I wonder what the rest of the illusions are going to think about this.
Well, since we've never seen the rest of the band, we've never seen them. I don't know if they exist.
FYI, I found out the Illusions was actually the name of Gary Goddard's high school band.
Okay. Nice. And it's funny how he's so upset about his equipment until he sees that old man.
Oh yeah, poor Carl.
And at least he is a human enough to be like, "Oh my God, Carl, are you okay? What happened?"
Yeah, you don't ever want to know. Actually, I do. There's
that's why I asked.
Some sort of indication here. What's going on?
Yeah, old man, Captain America. Don't just not tell us. I don't think I will. Okay.
By the way, I feel like an idiot. I believe I called him like a coach last time. He's literally billed as Carl the janitor. I looked him up. Walter Robles plays him. Fun fact: he was the stuntman for King Moody. King Moody was the original Ronald McDonald. So that brings about two questions. First, Ronald McDonald needed a stunt double. And also he was played by some guy named King Moody. Like, we're going to get the moodiest guy in here to play the clown.
Well, think about this. Why didn't they just have a stuntman be the clown all the time? Because he's in the makeup. Who gives a shit?
Maybe he just doesn't have the personality.
I guess not. He's not rocking it like Clown Moody, King Moody.
King Moody. But yeah, Ron McDonald needed a fall guy.
E-I-E-I-O. The next scene is my favorite part. We are introduced to Detective Strickland,
The star of the movie.
the star of the movie,
Yep.
James Tolkien. Not that kind of Tolkien, spelled a different way.
I got to tell you, there was a whole joke about, you call him Strickland. Strickland was his character, James Tolkien's character in Back to the Future. There was a kind of a joke when Marty went back in time and he basically looked exactly the same. So how old do you think James Tolkien is in this movie?
Oh, well, he's so smooth. Okay. I mean, I'm looking up now how old he is now. 41 to 51. I mean, he's 50. He's 50.
Yeah, he's 56.
56. Okay.
Yeah.
He looks great.
He's still alive, 92, still kicking.
92.
Honestly, to me, I'm just like, he's the best part of this movie. I'm a huge Detective Lubick fan.
Detective Strickland.
Sure.
Yeah. He calls him a slacker. He tells him to get in the car and they're going to go find it. I love that you kind of think it's going to be like, why aren't you looking? He's like writing down all the stuff about his girlfriend. Like, he's like, all right, let me take the description. He's like, why aren't you looking? It's like, I am. He's like, where are you taking me? He's like, get in my car. We're going to go look for your girlfriend. I'm like, yes, a character who actually is useful as a cop. He's useful in this. The other guys are like walking around carrying melted keyboards, doing nothing. And he's like, keep the coffee hot, boys. It's gonna be a long night. And he gets in the car and they're off. Oh, I love this guy.
Yeah, and again, Kevin is just like a total dick here. Like he just yells at this guy who's on the crime scene investigating, and he's like, "You're not doing enough." Like, I just got here, man, and because obviously he just got there because Kevin says he left just like 10 minutes ago to go to.
Also,
Strickland's.
Kevin, you dickhead, you left her. You're the one that went to Charlie's.
Yeah,
Right. What, like, there was no benefit to leaving her behind. Like, she could have just come along anyway.
And like, is that all you're going to do? You're going to write? Yeah, I'd like to keep track of the information that I'm getting. I'm a detective, you moron.
Yeah, he's not going to send Kevin to Top Gun. He already did that with Tom Cruise. He's not going to do it again.
I'm honestly surprised they asked Kevin to come along. I would have been like, yeah, put this kid in the cell. I'll be back to talk to him.
And now we get some I would say more like assumptions from Man at Arms and Tila. They think He-Man's gonna bone this chick because
what is Tila's situation? Because her very point is like, oh, not as much luck as you, apparently. Like, are her and He-Man supposed to be a thing?
Her and He-Man?
Like,
maybe she wants to be Mrs. Herman.
Like, is there some history there that I just don't know about because I never actually watched the cartoon?
Tila was always on it. I don't know if she was ever romantically involved. There was no romance. It was it was the 80s cartoon. There was no romance.
Right.
It's the same amount of romance as between Lady J and Duke. There isn't any, but you're kind of like, I feel like there should be. It's like a vagary.
No,
So,
she was all about Flint. I mean, Flint was the clear winner in that whole triangle.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Who's
I don't know.
Flint?
Flint's the other G.I. Joe. He had the beret.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
French.
Flint's a G.I. Joe character. I thought
you were talking about Hawk
He-Man
for a second, but
character.
you meant I got you, Flint.
Okay.
Okay.
Slayer?
Yeah, Flint the Slayer.
Flint Slayer. Okay. I don't know. I'm looking at the scene and I'm seeing Tila looking at the two. He's got her all wrapped up in his cape. She's like, why is she wearing his cape? I'm like,
Yeah, and of course, He-Man introduces Man-at-Arms and Tila as these are my friends. So if there was any sort of romantic involvement between Tila and He-Man, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm just your friend now." And here's this other like small Earth woman wrapped up in your cape. Like, what's going on here?
She introduces a Man at Arms with his Christian name.
Yes,
Duncan
Duncan.
McLeod.
Yep.
Excuse me, Man at Arms for Eternian High Command. Like Julie would know anything what he's talking about.
I am He-Man. This is Man at Arms. That was
Yeah.
Beast Man. Our names are stupid.
I'm Tila.
I'm Tila, and I have to
Weird
be
name.
and I can't go 5 seconds without being on the side of another woman. I have to be against her the entire movie, kind of like Tinkerbell and Hook.
I like how Man at Arms scares Julie with his visor. He like pushes. Oh, there's a human under here. But yeah,
worry,
in a
I'm
moment,
human.
we're going to see Gwildor and she's going to have zero reaction to
Nope, none.
Yeah.
She doesn't give a shit. She's like, oh, look, a little fuzzy man, a little troll doll.
Yeah, because they're sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden, I guess Christine's pink cousin comes to life and starts barreling through the warehouse.
Yeah, the land boat. Isn't that they sell those? They sell those at the KB Toys.
I
Yeah,
feel
this-
like every car from that era can be described as like a land boat. Those things were massive.
Well, at least it runs on Lucrinos now.
Right. Yeah. None
Yeah.
of that inefficient combustible systems.
Basically, he pulled a Mr. What's it called? On Back to
Mr.
the Future?
Fusion.
Mr. Fusion, and
Yeah.
gave it a better.
I mean, really, I think he's using. I think the DeLorean runs on Lucrinos as well because they have the same sound effects as they're cruising, as they take off. It sounds exactly like the DeLorean.
So they're off. They're off now to go get. I guess back. They're trying to get the guys together. They're trying. They know now where the key is, and then we go to the most intimate scene in
Oh,
Eternia.
This is a hot one, guys. Get ready. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Skeletor's got both hands on each side of Evil Lynn's face, and I'm like, where you going with that, Skeletor? What's the end game here?
This is
Why
the
you-
first time we can see his really cool gauntlets have like cool lights that move up and
Yeah.
down for no reason, but it's cool. I like it. He's in her personal space.
Oh yeah, and his robots are just watching.
He's
I
pulling-
like it when the robots watch. Yeah.
This is his number one guy moment. This is his Evelyn, you're my number one guy.
People need to know that I am Grayskull. It's like, yeah, you've devoted your whole look to it, buddy. You are good.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. So the B team comes back from Earth.
Losers.
I mean, poor Beast Man hasn't even cleaned the blood off his forehead yet, and he won't the rest of the movie. He'll just have that blood there the rest of the movie. They fought the Eternians and were outnumbered. I don't know why that voice almost started as Skeletor. They fought the Eternians, but they didn't get him. Blah blah blah. There has to be retribution. Of course, who are you going to kill? I'm going to kill the one that doesn't really have a action figure.
Yep.
So he straight up murders whatever the fuck his name is. Lizard
Actually, I don't want to actually you, but according to trivia I read, Mattel refused to have any action figure based character killed in the movie. But ironically, one of the 3 movie characters that Mattel did turn into an action figure was Sora.
They turned into it wasn't part of this. I'm
Oh,
talking about it
okay.
wasn't part of it until after the movie.
Now I wrote down in my notes, what the fuck did Sora do to get singled out like this? But then going back over, I realized he got blasted by Julie.
Right.
He's just learning how to use a blaster. And then he gets his claws out, jumps, doesn't even get to use his claws, and gets just thrown into his partner there, Blade. So yeah, if Skeletor was watching somehow, he's probably the biggest F up, besides Karg, who's leading this whole thing and led their asses all the way back to Eternia with their tail between their legs over one encounter. Like, send for more reinforcements, maybe? Send me more robots, Skeletor. We need more robots.
I do appreciate that Evil Lynn steps in and she's like, hey, maybe don't kill all of the mercenaries because, we need manpower. And he's like, for this insolence, you will lead the next incursion into the
It's just classic
unknown realm.
Classic middle management. He's not good. He's not good at this job. And that's why he's always going to fail.
Yeah, Karg gets demoted down to lackey from team leader for good reason because he is just going to get dunked on for the rest of this movie, rightfully so.
Did Skeletor call Evil Lynn?
It's very intimate.
It's very possible. I mean, they were getting rather intimate. They seemed very disappointed when the mercenaries showed up to introduce this little one-on-one meeting that they were having.
Well, yeah, I got to go in for a meeting with Skeletor. He's going to make me stand right next to him while he puts his hands on my face.
Anthony DeLongis playing Blade in the Seed is very memorable. First, the reaction to Skeletor disintegrating Sauron is just like this, and then as they leave, as they're sent off, Blade is the only one that stands and salutes to Skeletor with his little, I don't even know. and
Yeah, it's like a
smiles,
complicated
"Hey."
hand reaching thing.
It's like
Give it his all.
It's like a Spaceballs type of. He does it's kind of a pound chest, hand forward, kind of whatever. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's all bullshit. Everyone knows Blade's full of shit and can't use his blades anyway.
But I guarantee the actor spent a lot of time thinking about his character and like, how am I going to do this?
In the next scene, Detective Strickland drives Tom Paris to the Warner Brothers or Universal houses lot. This is definitely a famous house from some other TV show. Would be great if it was it was from My Three Sons. That would be like, perfect.
Full circle. Then they could have named Charlie Ernie. And
here's my question.
Wrong.
Why would you call your house?
Yeah, I mean, Julie didn't know that Kevin was there.
No,
Julie
calls her own house, which it's her house. She knows of anyone. She's the only one that should be there.
Right.
Yeah. I was at first confused. I was like, oh, the lights are on. Your girlfriend must be home. And I was like, well, what if her parents? Oh, her parents.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. Why would she call her? I guess just in case he might be there.
Is this like the
Robin,
1980s version of a iPhone voice memo?
Robin, let me explain something to you. In the 80s, we didn't know where people were and had nowhere to find them. So we had to call specific places hoping that they were there.
They didn't have Life 360?
Nope.
No.
Didn't have Find My Friend.
Find My Friend, yeah.
I don't even know if they had caller ID at this point in the 80s. So
no, we're still like half a decade
calls.
away from Star 69.
We're still like, what? Hello? Who is this? Who's calling me?
And then you get this kid on the other end who's like, yes, I'm looking for a Mike, last name Crotch.
I'd like to talk about Julie's house. Julie's going through depression. Deep depression. She has a dead ficus on the kitchen table.
Yep.
She has the cliche Chinese boxes over in the corner for takeout. She all of her stuff's in Belkin movers. By the way, Belkin getting a little shout out. I'm sure they gave a little money to the movie. Tom Paris, you need to actually attend to your girlfriend a little bit. I don't think you were there emotionally for her when her parents died. I'm amazed he doesn't live there with her. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I wish that my high school girlfriend's parents would die so I could just live there.
Oh, I'll tell you so many times.
I think it's so remarkable that like she's still there living alone as a high school senior.
Yeah.
Like no like extended family came in to help her out. She's just there alone, having to pack up like her entire household on her own. Like, sure, I'm sure Kevin was helping out, but like Kevin is also in a band. So he's got other priorities he's got to take care of.
Hey, baby, I can't do it. I got to go to Club Zero.
Yeah. Well, apparently the Club Zero gig was amazing. So, I mean, let's not downplay Club Zero, but
they're going to be better tonight. In case you're wondering.
Just the whole situation with Julie and her dead parents is just like, what?
It's as bad. It's worse than the Gremlins. It's the worse than Gremlins Dead Dad. It's hilariously like bizarre. And they bring it up again. And it's so funny every time they do, because you're just like, oh yeah, their parents are dead. You're like, God damn it, that sucks. So anyway, Marshall Strickland. Now I've gone to his Back to the Future 3 name. Marshall Strickland. He's holding the synthesizer and he's like, what is this? He's like, it's a synthesizer. And then he plays a note. He's so giddy when he plays the
joy that he has.
He's never been a musical man. This is his opportunity to hang up the badge and become the rock star he always wanted to be.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but Token is the best actor in this movie, right? Like he is constantly doing stuff.
Other than Lemon Jello, yeah. He's other than Skeletor, but Skeletor unfortunately has to be like, he'll show up in the next cut, but like he's kind of always like in Eternia for a while, like acting off people that like he gets to be, Strickland gets to be the best character in this movie because Tom Paris cannot act. He is bad. Courtney Cox isn't terrible. She's just fine. It's fine.
Yeah, she's getting started.
Yeah.
She's cutting her teeth.
So they go back to the pizza place / warehouse area.
The alley of boxes and pizza. That's
And look, guys, they've got one of the spaceships. Ooh, that ship. By the way, that ship is not a toy you can buy.
You know, I looked up,
No.
like I tried to look at the He-Man like action figure
Vehicles.
vehicle wiki thing, and I could not find anything
Nothing from the
even
movies in
remotely
it.
close.
It's all very Jabba's sail barge adjacent. It's all
It's
made
a
for the
hydrofoil.
movie. I really that looks like that looks like a fan boat.
It does, yeah. It's got like a giant fan shape on the back. It's got little wings on the side. The whole front end is built around a couple of big guns, which is very on brand for the toys.
Do you think it runs on Catrinos or whatever the hell they are? Catrinos?
Maybe.
I got it off the set of Riptide.
Wow, what a reference.
I was around in the 80s.
They weren't using it on Simon and Simon. Keep going. Keep going. Magruder and Loud weren't using it. Podcastle and McCormick weren't using it. Jake and the Fat Man weren't using it.
Magnum PI did once.
Just once.
So-
They fouled it up. I like my foul on my hydrofoil.
Or whatever.
You know how hard it is to get back a deposit on one of these hydrofoils? So anyway.
Yeah, so
Evelyn is there.
Karg leads Evelyn into the junkyard. He's like, oh yeah, they ambushed us over here, and we were getting our asses kicked over here, and it was awful. There were so many guys. We're lucky to get away alive. And she pulls out the spoiler machine.
Guys, I gotta say it. This cut has the best tech of the app I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
It has 3 things. We haven't seen, there's been no tech other than Wildor's little stupid thing that he used, like his little hand communicator. There's nothing. And then she's handed the largest things by these robot helpers for the rest of this scene. It's awesome. It's awesome.
And they're all great for parenting. Like, if I could get a scanner to be like, she did it, she did it. And then just like, hold on a second. Okay, you're the bad person. You started it and you're in trouble.
Yep. Oh, and she uses it to just drag Karg through the dirt. She's like, oh, really? So many guys outnumbered you and you were so outclassed. I see He-Man and I see Courtney Cox pre-Friends. What are you talking about?
And she knows all about Friends because they already have it on her world.
Yep.
And I gotta say, the wrong creepazoid got disintegrated. It should have been Karg.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
How many blocks away is 10 Metrons, by the way?
Let me check my conversion rate.
Right.
There's a lot of bling blaring and Metrons in this.
Yeah.
They never use anything normal. Did you notice that though when Tila asks the robot something, his jaw starts moving?
Oh yeah.
You mean
His costume?
Just because of where the angle is, and you can just see the chin wagging down below the bottom of the helmet
As he's talking, and you're kind of like, well, they're supposed to be robots. What's going on here?
Right.
I guess robots can have chins. So, and then we go back to Strickland, and everybody has been allowed to turn on the key. Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think every time
allowed to turn on me?
Do you think I'm wondering every time it turns on, does it vibrate Skeletor's key? I'm just wondering for a friend. I just wanted to know. No wonder he's always sitting on that throne. It's got a little hole in the middle of it.
Right.
It's key
I got it on vibrate.
Yep.
I do love the reaction from Lubick when he turns on that key and it starts doing its little light show thing. And he's just like got this look on his face. It's like, oh man, I haven't felt this way since the heroin bust where I tested the supply.
I'm wondering, I'm surprised he didn't say, is this communist or a cult? Because he just keeps, he thinks everything is Russian or a cult.
Yep.
Yeah, not yet.
The 80s were so easy. It was so easy to have bad guys back then.
Bad guys are clearly definable.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Yeah, this thing is lighting up like a ghost trap and making noises like Close Encounters. So yeah, he's completely dumbfounded by it.
The one thing I don't understand about Strickland is Strickland thinks he has Tom Paris for the fire.
Mhm.
He wasn't there. He literally shows up at the fire and his equipment is burned. Like it's a weird thing, right? Like he's screaming about his girlfriend being missing, but I would blame the girlfriend before I would blame Tom Paris.
Right.
I'd be like, my girlfriend's missing. She was in the building. I'm blaming you for burning it, but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So he's going to take him to jail.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
then, of course.
Well, first, how do you guys feel about microwaved Buck's chicken?
I wouldn't eat Chinese food that's been microwaved. Let's just put it that way.
I would rather have a cold bucket of chicken than reheat chicken in a microwave. There's just something about fried chicken in a microwave where the batter gets really like soggy and weird. The bones are always way too hot when you try and eat them. Like just eat it cold, Kevin. You don't need to heat up the chicken before you give a demonstration of your weird Japanese synthesizer.
Kevin doesn't understand how to clean up because, as you'll see in the next scene, he takes 3 boxes of Burger King food, 2 oranges, and throws them into the sink.
Yeah.
While he's cleaning. That's not cleaning, Kevin.
Boy doesn't know what a trash bag is.
What kind of life is Courtney Cox leaving? She's got Burger King and Chinese food. It's sad. It's not even the good stuff. Burger King means it's a cry for help.
It's why she thinks that New Jersey is a step up.
Yeah.
Because she's currently
I
living
get to go
in a
to New
dump yard.
Jersey where they have Burger Kings on every street corner.
The Garden State. Oh.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Evelyn has the ability to remote detonate things with the robot's little data pad there.
Sure.
There are so many things that, like, if Skeletor can disintegrate somebody by pointing at them, and Evelyn can remotely explode something by just hitting a button, why haven't they beat He-Man at this point?
Yeah.
I don't know. And so Blade becomes Knife because he pulls out a knife. And well, I guess that is a blade. So he's still Blade.
Yeah.
We never talked about that on Sword Boys. A blade is a sword or a knife. It's anything that is metal and sharp on both sides, right? That's what we're considering a blade.
Yeah.
So thinking that maybe he was calling himself Sword, then there'd be a problem.
Right. Then it would be a problem.
Like, put that knife down. What are you doing?
No, that's who he stole. That's who he stole the swords from. A guy named Sword.
Of course.
So she puts this weird shock collar on him, dog collar.
Yeah.
Again, a great device to use for parenting. If I can get that sucker.
We can't skip ahead to the interrogation collar.
Why not?
We need to point out that Lubick calls Kevin a turkey, takes the cosmic key, and leaves Kevin alone.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's what sets the stage for Evelyn to lock in on the signal that they found and just completely destroy the inside of Julie's house as they're getting their hands on Kevin.
Yeah, he says he's going to put the key on the computer and figure out how to define something that's undefinable, and also ask a guy, Charlie, who wasn't there when he found it, all about the key. Like, and then he's gonna give if he can't find any answers, he's gonna give that key back to Kevin.
I love that Charlie is like a forensic musician. Like, oh, have you ever seen one of these before? Oh yeah, that was brought in here before.
Yeah, sure.
Can I now talk about the dog collar?
Yes, now we're up at the dog collar because the robots are tearing the house apart. They're digging through things. Karg finds that little bit of reminder that Julie's parents are dead because we haven't been reminded of that enough. And yeah, this little slave collar thing, it shines light up onto Kevin's neck and he is completely hypnotized.
He's hypnotized, and then Evelyn pulls out a giant ice cream cone, Statue of Liberty torch, and it's got this cool hologram on it. So she's like, I love that she had to ask him. She's like, where's the cosmic key? And she shows it to him. He's like, oh, I know what that is because I'd never heard it called a cosmic key before, but I know what it looks like. I really wanted him to be more truthful. I wanted him to be like, you know what? I really don't even love her. I just feel bad because her parents died and I can't leave her now. And I wanted kind of like a level of of a candor that we weren't expecting for the rest of the movie.
I actually brought up New Jersey. I just kind of like planted it in her head. Just like, hey, New Jersey is actually it's pretty far away, but I mean, it's worth the trip.
By the way, are you wearing contacts? What's wrong with your eyes? Why are they so? They're crazy looking. This guy, what is up with the swords? What happened to your eye? Like he's just like really like just. It's like a truth serum from what the second Ant-Man, which I just recently rewatched. So it's in my head. I love that Eva Lynn uses the torch, the hollow torch, and then hands it away to a robot, and the robot's entire job is to hold that torch for the rest of the scene. He's just like holding it, like just in case she needs to show him other things, I guess.
I am always carrying a torch for Eva Lynn, even though she's more of a Skeletor kind of gal.
I'm in love with her.
Why was I programmed?
Just so you know, I'm also in love with a few of my robotic friends, like the one underneath me right now.
Would you mind texting me? Meanwhile, Detective Karg finds Julie's backstory. He's just reading news clippings as if
he pops in. He's like, here is this human girl. Did you know her parents are dead? I haven't heard that before.
We haven't met her yet, so she hasn't been able to tell us.
We better say it again and again.
And guess what? We have even more tech here, because now it's revealed towards the end of this cut that they can just track the key from the air.
Yep.
Why haven't they been doing this? Why are they
walking around
Julie's bedroom for news clippings? Just track the key.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes you just got to let the robots trash a house so they can get it out of their system. It's like a defragging.
Yeah, you don't, Robin, you don't understand Eternian physiology. They get off on forensics. They get off on it. This is their foreplay. Oh, I'm going to look around your boxes and see what you've got in there.
The number one broadcast program on Eternia is CSI and all of its spinoffs. They just love it.
Oh, see Karg in there with the blue light.
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of activity in here.
What does Karg sound a lot like Skeletor?
No,
he's my hero.
Karg is a deeper register. Skeletor's up here.
I'm trying to be more like my master. More skeletonous every day.
See, when they pull out the black light, it's because of me.
I'm already spineless. I gotta work on that.
The hair on my head's not the only white stuff I leave everywhere.
Oh, good.
Now I don't know if that's Karg or Skeletor. That could have been either of them.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, Evelyn, they go out into their little like floater flyer boat, fan boat thing, and they're gonna track it from the air.
And that's where this cut ends.
That's where it ends.
Is it a good cut? I would consider this a good cut because we got some swords and we got a little magic. I love a good disintegration. I love a disintegration.
Oh, the tech.
We got some great technology.
So much technology.
We were introduced to Lubick.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Charlie.
This is where the movie begins.
Yes. Only spent maybe a minute and a half to 2 minutes in Eternia.
We're halfway through the movie too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, these 80s movies, they're so short.
Isn't it great? I love it.
Karg.
Love it so much.
I am not short.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to sound like me?
Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to push into the latter half of this movie. So come back, because next time, Kevin is rescued from the interrogation collar and He-Man pursues Lubick to the music shop. Evelyn arrives and commands her robot minions to lay siege to the store while she slips around back and uses her foul magic to secure the cosmic key. With their prize in hand, Skeletor arrives on Earth with his sights set on capturing He-Man. Stay right there for the high-flying suspense in Cut 4 of Masters of the Universe.
I'm going to go drink some Lucrinos. Get ready for next episode. You can find us everywhere that Sword Boys are sold. We're at swordboys.biz. That's got all of our links. Go find our socials, swordboys.biz. If you want to send us an email, send it to us at swordboys.biz@gmail.com. And that's basically and we have a Patreon. Oh yeah, we have a Patreon.
Jump on the Patreon. We've got a new new stuff pretty much every other week. If there's not a main feed episode, there's going to be something in the Patreon to check out.
Yep, and we're about to start our next movie. We're super excited about that. That'll be coming up in a month or so. So come see that one, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye, boys. Clang, clang.
Cling, cling.